As always, here's my intro, and my outro will be at the end if you choose to listen. If not, it's what the fuck ever, right? This is Officer Langston. Officer Langston is one of those that almost always smiles when I'm trying to record. Fucking jackass. Anyway, I think Officer Langston is just another person trying to do his job and go home. That's my personal opinion. I've never seen him being anything but professional and courteous. I don't know Officer Langston personally, but I've had some interactions with him from past videos. Also, he seems to be fond of cornfields, since I've seen this patrol vehicle patrolling around them and possibly in them on several occasions, but that's not really relevant here. Anyway, here's his response to my question. I've started a new business I'm so excited to tell you all about. I now make increasingly rare and potentially expensive jewelry. I make it out of white gold. Here's a couple of photos of a necklace and a bracelet made out of white gold. I'll start taking orders at some point. Let me know if interested. Enjoy your day and stop being sheeple.
You believe you have an oath to uphold, support, defend the Constitution of the United States, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. If you were ordered, contrary to the Constitution, to go door to door, person to person, and confiscate firearms from otherwise law-abiding citizens, even if it meant your job, would you comply with such an order?
No.
No? Can you tell me why?
Because it's unconstitutional.
I guess that's good enough. Anything else you want to add, sir?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a good evening.
I know. Some of you hate narration and comments and want to stop here, so fucking do it. And move along now. Nothing to hear here. Not for you anyway. For the rest, here's a few things to consider. As I've mentioned and many others do on YouTube, the police have no duty to protect you. Now that doesn't mean there aren't officers out there that feel a sense of duty to protect others. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that expecting them to is done at your own peril. Further, what I'm saying is that there are almost no consequences. Gonzales v. Castle Rock, DeChaney v. Winnebago, and in general you can look around and see other examples for yourself that don't make it up to the high courts when they fail to do so. It's like an empty threat to a child. It's like telling a child you better do your homework, and then when they refuse you say, well, it's not good that you didn't, but you lose nothing. That is the message sent repeatedly by the courts. Now, consider this fact. The government tells you, well, one side of the government predominantly, as in 90+% of the time, tells you, quote, you don't need firearms. We'll protect you with our firearms, end quote. Then the same government in the same breath during such as this pandemic and other emergencies such as riots, etc., they tell us, quote, you're on your own, end quote. You know, if you're an anti-Constitution, specifically anti-Second Amendment person, anti-guns, make America safer, bullshit, pay attention here. Who do you think are filling the spots at the lines to buy firearms? And who do you think are buying up all the firearms right now? It's logically not the people whom already believed in the Second Amendment and that it's not for hunting, not for sport shooting, but for protection, both protection of self and family and others, and also protection against a tyrannical government. The people whom already supported that amendment most likely already have the firearms they felt they needed. No, it's the former anti-Second Amendment people, the left, the Democrats. Now, I am by no means saying the Republicans are the answer to everything, but who are the ones screaming anti-fascism while shutting down free speech, preaching against the amendments of the Constitution designed to allow us to fight back against an out-of-control fascist, tyrannical government? That's a question, but here's the answer. Yeah, it's the Democrats. Overwhelmingly, it's the Democrats. It's the left, being fascist and fighting against their own ability, their own self-best interests to fight true fascism. I see it all the time. If you don't, you better get better glasses. To me, the bottom line is that when government is needed, it is almost always late or incapable of being there. That is why it is incumbent and imperative and 100% necessary and important that people take their own protections and the protection of their family members upon themselves. If this corona crap, where many law enforcement agencies around the country, even Henderson PD, have outright reduced and or refused to respond to many different types of crimes, hasn't shown you the necessity of the Second Amendment, along with former riots where police were powerless, then you probably need to pay better attention and learn from this. And here's a little special message to any of you Bernie bros out there begging for socialism. I hope the lack of toilet paper and other such issues that, whether you're experiencing them or not, are definitely visible in this country at this point in certain specific locations, is giving you a very small, enjoyable taste of socialism. It doesn't work in any form. It has never worked in any form. It will never work in any form. Adding a pretty word like democratic in front of it doesn't change that. It's no different than saying democratic murder or friendly rape. A modifying word contrary to the logic of the act or idea does not change the failure nor negatives of that act or idea. Stop fooling yourselves.
Can you tell me why?
Because it's unconstitutional.